Hello, this is Ms. Schrader. Today we are going to be talking about the Maurya Empire. My students, you want a piece of paper and something to write with so you can take notes. Once you have your notes done, you are going to be writing 5 complete sentences. You want to put them in paragraph form concerning the Maurya Empire. I'm pausing here for a second so that you can get that stuff. And then I want you to be looking at this map, which is showing the Maurya Empire of India, which existed between 322 BCE and 184 BCE. And remember, that's before the current era. And if you look at the map, the Maurya Empire really looks almost as though it's almost the size of modern day India. In fact, in some areas, it's actually larger. It doesn't have the southern part, but it does extend further to the northwest and the northeast than modern India does. So the Maurya Empire was founded by Chandragupta Maurya, and what he started off by doing is he defeated and conquered the Nanda Empire and the Greek satraps. And these are areas that had originally been controlled by Alexander the Great a few hundred years before. And so he conquers these areas and basically unites all these areas under his control. One of the things that he's very famous for is allowing for a lot of religious freedom. He allows for Buddhism, Jainism, Ajivika, I don't know what that is, along with the traditional religions of Vedic and Brahmanistic religions. And here he's being shown, according to this, this is a relief at the Digambara pilgrimage, which is supposedly showing him on the horse. Chandragupta's grandson, Ashoka, eventually becomes the emperor in 268 BCE, and he was a great warrior leader. This particular picture is from a relief in Sanchi that is showing him on his chariot. And there's a very famous story about him going into a very destructive war in the state of Kalinga. And as he walks around looking at all of the dead bodies, he becomes so upset that he decides to become a Buddhist. And Buddhists are nonviolent. So he starts encouraging Buddhism, leading various different things in Buddhism, and changes the whole trajectory of his life as well as of his empire. And here you can see a larger piece of the relief in which Ashoka is shown riding in his chariot. He's over to the far right. And actually, this is still only a section of this piece. It's a very large piece. Now, this is called the lion capital of Ashoka, and it's in Samath. And it is showing 4 lions symbolizing the 4 noble truths of Buddhism. And if you go around it, you can see each one. Originally, this apparently was on top of a pillar outside. Today, it is now in the Samath Museum. The lions are life size, so this thing is huge. But they are talking about the force, each one symbolizing one of the 4 noble truths, which are some of the main points of Buddhism. Now, for Westerners, it's hard for us to understand the 4 noble truths, but here we go. The first truth is that all of life is suffering. The second one is the reason that we suffer is because we want things. The third one is that if we stopped wanting things, we would no longer suffer. And the fourth one is that if we follow the Eightfold Path, which is another Buddhist concept, that will help us not to want things, and then we won't suffer. Now, what you're looking at here is a series of 3 different pillars of Ashoka that he had built in various different places around his empire. The purpose of these is to remind people to follow Buddhist ideals, to try to follow the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path. This is a fragment from the 6th pillar, the Edict of Ashoka, which is in the British Museum today. You can see the writing on it. Once again, this is going to be telling people to follow the rules, to follow the Eightfold Path, to try and be good people, things like that. After Ashoka's death, there were 50 years of weaker kings controlling things. Eventually, some of the groups that were being controlled by the Maurans rose up against them. And eventually, around 180 BCE, the Greco Bactrian king Demetrius uh, came in with an army and took control of India. And after that, we see a series of outsider kings controlling the area. Okay, my students, you are going to be giving me 5 complete sentences about what you found interesting, educational, and important about the Maurya Empire. And I hope you enjoyed this.